Hey gang, welcome back to Inverted Pursuits Laboratory, and this week we are dealing with the Pulse Autocycle. So this is Pulse 328, as many of you are well aware, and it is now springtime here in Missouri. Actually has been for a little while, but I thought I'd give a quick once over on things to check for as you are getting ready to take your vehicle out for the first time. So obviously there are a lot of things you need to look at. You need to check your tires. So I go around, I do check them with a tire gauge, but just check them over for cracks. The riggers are a spot that goes flat really easily if you're not paying attention to them. So I like to give them just a test, and if they're flat, they'll squish really easily. You can also kick them. The rear tire, that's a good one to check when the vehicle's off. Just give them a good once over, check part of it for cracks, see the tire tread depth, make sure it's all still good, and you just want every tire to be in good shape as you go around the vehicle. Another thing that's important is to check that your battery's fully charged. So I keep my battery hooked up to a battery tender. Battery Tender Junior is the brand I use. Currently it's not actually plugged into anything, but usually I have these terminals plugged into charging ports here on the back of the vehicle. So inside this panel I choose anywhere on the engine for ground, and I have no clue if we can see it, but there's a positive terminal right here, and that is where I hook the red wire to, because that actually runs to the hot lead on the battery. But it's important to make sure the battery voltage is up. Alright, and when it comes to voltage, the Pulses have this wonderful gauge right in here that reads voltage, so when you turn the car on, you get a voltage reading. I've got mine at 12 volts, and now you want to go ahead and check things like your blinkers. This can take a second, but I've got all the blinkers functioning on the vehicle, and you check both sides to make sure everything's functioning. And this side is picky about the engine not running. Another good thing to check is that the headlight comes up. Which the mechanism is sticking. This is not uncommon in the vehicle. It's not something I'm going to fight at the moment. It's not the biggest concern that it's not wanting to come up, but it's a pretty common issue that it won't pop up. But from there, the last thing you'll want to check is the oil. You can see mine has been leaking some oil over the winter, and I've been keeping a pretty regular eye on it as the months have gone on, just to be sure. Sorry about that. Just to be sure that it's not too big of an issue, but I am going to go ahead and change the oil at some point here, which I'll make a video on how to change the oil in these vehicles. But to check the oil, it's on the 1200s. It is this cap right here, so you twist it out and you can check the oil level. But that's checking it. And then from there, you're into first start of the vehicle, which for me, I've taken pretty much any warm day throughout the entirety of winter to give it a go. And I've got to hold down clutch brake. And that started up really nice. So sometimes they start up a little more rough than other times, but you always want to make sure the choke's on. Some of these vehicles are a little picky about clutch and brake, so I always press both the clutch and the brake whenever I'm doing it, just to ensure that the vehicle is going to start when I want it to start. But now that I've got it on, I'm going to let it run for about 30 minutes, idle up, and alright, we've had it running for a good bit here now, and you can hear the purr of the engine. It's running really nice. You can hear when I rev it up. So she's running really well. Nice thing about This 1200, you can see my voltage is actually really high because I have a really powerful alternator on it. It's not stock alternator off of 1200. I forget what it's off of, but I do have a different alternator which gives me lots of voltage in this vehicle. But everything is running wonderfully. I am actually able to, now that I've got the motor running, if I back up, I can test the headlight that we were having some trouble with earlier. And see there, the headlight pops up, comes on. You test high beams, those work. And come on. Of course she doesn't want to go. Oh, there she goes. That's a little picky. And my turn signals now work a lot better, so I've got those running. I've also checked the brake lights, so now that I know that everything's running, it's a good time to go ahead and take it for a quick cruise. But I've got more video of that you guys can check out. I'll have it linked below. It'll probably also be recommended by the YouTube algorithm, but that's that. But thanks for watching, gang. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope it was kind of informative about just kind of some of the things you go through in the spring and that you want to check before you start your Pulse for the first time. It also will recommend that you do actually run it a couple times over the winter on warmer days. Maybe not drive it around because it could be snowy, but at least get it up, let it run once or twice a month throughout the winter. It just helps keep the engine going and not have as many issues in the spring when you're getting ready to take it out to your first car show. I will have a video from a car show hopefully coming up here soon with this vehicle. But thanks for watching and have a great day, guys.